Welcome back to the Productivity Podcast, where I give you a daily productivity tip so you can get the most out of your time, your talent, and your ideas. I'm your host, Brandon White. Here we go. What if that morning mug of caffeine isn't as good for you as you've been led to believe, and it's actually sabotaging your health, happiness, focus, and productivity? Buckle up as we tell you the truth about caffeine, how it affects you, give you the surprising benefits of kicking the caffeine habit by reviewing peer-reviewed research, and finish up by giving you a protocol on how to detox yourself the right way. Caffeine is a powerful stimulant that affects multiple systems in your body, particularly your brain and nervous system. Here's a breakdown of how it works and how it impacts your day. In your brain, caffeine does three major things. It blocks adenosine. Adenosine is a chemical that builds up throughout the day, promoting sleepiness. Caffeine binds to the adenosine receptors in your brain, preventing adenosine from activating them and leading to your temporary alertness. Number 2, it boosts dopamine and norepinephrine. These neurotransmitters are associated with feelings of pleasure, focus, and energy. Caffeine increases their release, further enhancing alertness and mood. Number 3, it activates your fight or flight response. Caffeine triggers the release of cortisol, the stress hormone, which increases heart rate, blood pressure, and blood sugar levels. This can give you a surge of energy, but also contribute to anxiety and jitterness. When you drink caffeine in the morning, it quickly reaches your bloodstream within 30 minutes or so and blocks adenosine, leading to increased alertness, focus, and energy. This sounds great until we talk about how it activates your fight or flight response by increasing your cortisol levels that cause anxiety, jitters, headaches, and even digestive issues in some cases. Additionally, as your body adapts to caffeine throughout the day and over time, you experience dependence and withdrawal symptoms like fatigue and irritability if you don't get your usual dose. This means that if you drink 2 cups of coffee, you have to have those 2 cups of coffee every day just to get to your normal self. If you want to take advantage of the real boost above your baseline self, you have to consume more caffeine. Then you drink more, and then your body gets used to that amount, and before you know it, you're drinking 4 cups of coffee just to be yourself. And here's the thing. You believe it's helping you because of the withdrawal symptoms that make you tired, irritable, and less focused. You know the feeling when you wake up and have to run to that mug. That's not the real you. It's you in withdrawal mode. Then you get your caffeine fix, and that fix gets you to your baseline normal self, meaning you're really getting no benefit to the caffeine other than getting yourself back up to baseline because you were going through withdrawal. Then, after lunch, around 1 or 2 p.m., you suddenly feel terrible again because that morning brew is wearing off. Then you start to crash, and you need another jolt of caffeine that starts the whole cycle again. Making matters worse, because the half-life of caffeine is around 12 hours, when you drink caffeine in the afternoon, it delays you getting tired, which means it's hard for you to get to sleep. And then you don't sleep well. Now you wake up tired and need that caffeine even more. And the cycle starts all over again. And if you aren't convinced yet, a study published titled Effects of Caffeine Withdrawal on Emotional Regulation and Neurocognitive Performance in the Journal of Psychopharmacology found that quitting caffeine led to significant improvements in both mood and cognitive performance. This study followed 72 participants who regularly consumed caffeine. Half underwent a 2-week caffeine withdrawal, while the other half continued their usual intake. Those who quit caffeine showed significant improvements in emotional regulation. They experienced less negative effects like anxiety and irritability, and greater positive effects such as calmness and cheerfulness. Additionally, they demonstrated enhanced cognitive performance, improved attention, working memory, and executive function. Another study titled Sleep and Alertness During Extended Caffeine Abstinence in Habitual Consumers, published in the Journal of Clinical Psychopharmacology and Neuroscience, monitored 63 habitual caffeine consumers over a month of caffeine abstinence. Initially, participants experienced typical withdrawal symptoms like headaches and fatigue. However, by the end of the month, they reported significantly improved sleep quality, including falling asleep faster, sleeping more soundly, and waking up feeling more refreshed. They also noted increased alertness and energy levels throughout the day, even without relying on caffeine. And yet another study titled The Effect of Caffeine Abstinence on Productivity and Energy Levels in Regular Caffeine Consumers, published in the Journal of Performance Enhancement and Health, investigated the impact of caffeine withdrawal on office workers. 50 participants who regularly consumed caffeine stopped for 4 weeks. While fatigue and headaches were observed in the first week, by the second week, participants reported significant improvements in work efficiency and productivity. They were able to focus for longer periods, completed tasks faster, and felt more motivated to work. Furthermore, their energy levels became more stable and consistent throughout the entire day, without the typical afternoon dip associated with caffeine dependence. Here's the best way to detox yourself off caffeine. Do it over the course of 10 days versus trying to go cold turkey. Days 1 through 3, cut back to 3/4 of your normal amount. Day 4 through 6, drink just 1/2 of your normal amount. Days 7 through 10, 1/4 of your normal amount. And day 11, you're done. From my experience, once you hit day 8, you're going to say the heck with it and ditch it altogether. But you have 10 days if you need it. Then give it a solid 2 weeks after you're completely off and see how good you feel. Consider this your challenge. Ditch the jitters, your afternoon crash, those hard-to-get-to-sleep nights, and unlock a productivity level with your own natural focus and newfound freedom. Your move. Hey, real quick before you go, please remember to hit follow on your podcast player. You won't miss any episodes, and it helps support us bring you the show daily. Thanks for listening. We'll talk tomorrow.